Hey guys, good evening everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Jaydee for another episode of our daily stock market insights. Today is May 2nd, 2022, and tomorrow is a holiday, so the next trading day will be on Wednesday. So, time for everyone to rest tomorrow and enjoy your day. Meanwhile, I'd like to share my insights on how some of our stocks performed for today. Okay, so if this is the video you want to watch and monitor every day because you're starting your journey, feel free to hit the subscribe button and then notification bell so you're always updated whenever I have new videos. Okay, so let us start. I first want to quickly cover my thoughts on the index overall. So I mentioned yesterday that we could be experiencing some more pull or breakdown in price, and somehow yes, that happened. We had a dip. At the same time, it somehow recovered very quickly shortly after that. So we reached as low as 6,600 level, but we are still lower than the previous day's performance. Okay, so where are we? I mentioned yesterday that we could still be in this zone around the 6,657 level because there was a wick down here, and if you move to the left further, you had your resistance over here and here. So this area, let's monitor. I'm not saying that it will not go lower than that, but these are there are some data points, meaning this area over here that I am plotting, there could be a story somewhere. We could be bouncing within this area um, soon. The reason why right now I'm saying we're not very close to that yet because there's not much volume, and then selling is still happening at the moment. We're still in the red. We're still outside of the Bollinger Band, so two things can happen. We just probably could be dropping up to the 6,600 level, or we could do sideways before we recover. At the same time, not much. Okay, there isn't any major catalyst at the moment that could really influence the change in the direction. So I'm just anticipating possibly sideways first, build up the volume right here before we go move up again. Okay, so my inference here, if if the investors are happy with the decision of our election, or whoever is going to win in the election, if investors are satisfied with that, then that could trigger a shift in uh, the direction of our index. At this point, they're just on the conservative side because we're not very sure yet as who's going to win in the election. So that's my take. Okay, so let us go ahead and talk about the highly traded stocks for today. ACEN is still leading. Uh, so yeah, the other day, last Friday, we had a significant drop, and today we are starting to recover, but not much as of yet. What's nice though is that you have your bullish divergence. From this point we went lower, right? And hold on, not yet. But if you're going to base it from here, which is right at this point, so if you draw that, uh, it is going to give us a bullish divergence because this is much higher than this point over here. But we have a different story with our RSI. The RSI is giving us a movement to the upside. While the price was moving downwards, your RSI is starting to move up this time, meaning investors are showing, we have investors already getting into the stock. But let's try to also check the volume. Okay, right here you have this massive drop, right? The volume, selling pressure is high, volume is high, a lot of people sold their position. But here you are also you have a green, but look, the volume is not there as of yet. So I am plotting our support. Let's see if we are going to stabilize within the area where we have this. Okay, so ideally if we have a drop like this in the next 3 days, the goal is, if we really would like to see change or shift in direction, in the next 3 days we should be breaking this line. Okay, so this is your resistance. Each time it bounces, it's giving us a lower high. So let us say in the next 3 days we should be out of this range already. That means we are already going to have a bullish movement after that. So just mark this level. This is your resistance while the price is moving downwards. At the same time, I'm plotting our support at 722. So for long-term investors, just understand where we are currently, or where we are at the moment in terms of pricing. Okay, so long term long term perspective, this is already at a sale price level. Imagine it once reached as high as 1271. So if you like the fundamentals, the business model of ACEN, this could be your time. Okay, so if there are slight overshoot below the line I mentioned there, and if you're long term, I think those are, insignificant in influencing your decision. So at this point, at this level, even up to as low as 6.82, that is your support area. Okay, next is alley. Alley, still, there's not much volume, but what I see here is now the body of the candlestick is starting to become smaller and smaller. That means people, oh, I'm on a weekly chart, still the same. The body of the candlestick is starting to become smaller, meaning there isn't much selling pressure happening at the moment. Probably this is already it, no? So you have this huge drop with huge volume. Um, we're still in the selling phase. You have foreign selling that's happening, but we are already, but ito no? This could be your support. We are actually in the support level right now. Because if you are to look to the left, this area over here, for several occasions during this period, this level is hit, then there's a bounce that's happening. And we are also very near our oversold. When you say oversold, that's already a cheap level. So if you look at it, we're not there yet, but very close. Some people would adjust the settings for the RSI, but I do have it in the 30 mark. Anything below that, that's already oversold. So we're very near that. However, we're still outside of the Bollinger Band. That means we're not out of the woods yet. We could still be moving sideways and slight overshoot down below, lower than 31.40. So give yourself up to 31 close. Yeah, just to be on the conservative side. So it's up to you. May want to wait for a green candlestick paired with the right volume, meaning nice volume, with a green candlestick before you can enter, or before you may want to enter. But overall, this is already very cheap, right? MBT is next. MBT actually revisited the 50. It even reached as low as 49, but I think, okay, my 2 cents here, we are very near a possible area of bounce. Now if you are to look, I think I talked about this yesterday with the red right now. um there's a red candlestick, we're outside, selling pressure is still high over there. So what we want to see right now, so you also have a bullish divergence, right? This one is much higher than this, while this price here is higher than this area. So wait for it. Let's see on a weekly chart. I actually entered today, but I'm long term for technically mid to long term, but I've been holding MBT for almost a year now. Was able to take advantage of our nice dividend somewhere. I'm not sure, here or here. See several. No, actually this one. Was able to take advantage of this nice dividend, and also this one. Okay, so right now, we are triggering the lower Bollinger Band. So we could have some more movements downwards. But today, like what I mentioned, I entered just to do test buy. Very, very small volume. But overall, on a weekly chart, in case this continues to trigger down below, because we're not in the oversold yet. So there is still a possibility of it reaching that level. So let's go back to the daily chart. So we could, diba? We could, but we don't know if halfway it is going to shift the direction of this stock. Pero lagyan na lang natin because there's also a resistance somewhere back in August of 2021. This period over here, you had a resistance. Okay, let's put that and let's just test and find out if that will be respected. Okay, first area of support 46.66, 43.79 is next. But between it changing the direction now or another red, we could even have a few more days of red before we go up again. BDO also on the red, but hey, there's a dividend scheduled on the 6th. This one is also giving out regular dividend pay, but sige, sideways, no? Oh, not looking good on a weekly chart. We've ended one candlestick below the MA20 line, but this is a history of slight overshoot below the MA20 level. So conservatively, I am looking at 119.98 or 120 on a weekly chart for our next possible support. That's what I do. If I want to reduce the noise in my chart, I go to the actually you start with a longer time frame and then you reduce it. So you have your weekly and then go zoom in on a daily chart. Okay, and on a daily chart, this could happen in some of the days within the week. It could go lower than this, right? Touch this level because there are still several days within the week. So we could be touching this, and some of the days we could be bouncing a little bit. But 120 for now is the area I am conservatively looking at for our uh, next support. Wala eh. There's no big news that will really give me an aha moment that would say, okay, we're bouncing soon. Wala. I'm thinking this will happen right after the election, and that's a few days from now. See this? This used to be the trend line. Each time we hit this level, there's a bounce that's happening, and today, one entire candlestick broke below that line. In the past few days, there was an attempt to break that, and it was successfully done today. So there could be some more red days for BDO. DMC, okay, DMC, just FYI, it's one of the stocks that we do give a high yielding dividend. So if you are okay with DMCI, uh, you know, this is a real estate company. They have a lot of projects, especially here in Manila. They have so many projects here. So I think this company is really going to go big, and there are a lot of clientele, or they have a lot of clients. So I'm thinking it's just market sentiment that's pulling the numbers down. It's still triggering the lower Bollinger Band, so chances are this could still give us some discounted levels at this point. I'm thinking it's gonna go revisit the 759 area, and the reason why I'm saying that again, we have a long wick right here. That's the first thing I look at. But that's just one day worth of performance. So I go further to the left to understand where their days whereby that price level is hit and then there's a bounce that's happening. And yes, indeed, during these days, we found that that area is hit or was hit and then bounces happened. Okay, so overall, I still see an opportunity for us to get this at a lower price. Next is Converge. Converge also triggering the lower band. Okay, I'll give you another tip here. You see this line over here, price slightly moved higher. Okay, that's a resistance level, so you got it bounced, right? It got rejected and it dropped and then moved again a little higher than the previous high over here. However, your RSI is much lower. Look at this. Your RSI showed a decline in momentum. So see what happened next. There's a breakdown in the price. So that could be your trigger. So the moment you see a higher high, especially when it's around the overbought level, it's already extended, you have your higher high, try to see if your RSI is starting to decline. But at this point, I still see another day, day or two. I don't know how long will it take, but sometimes it would only take one day, touch this 25.14 level, and then recovers same day because you just have a long wick. But sometimes it takes a few days, 1 to 2 days before the price level is hit and then recovers. But I am looking at right now at 25.14 because of this. Okay, and this as the next possible support. Yan lang. Those are my reasons, but the next stop is around 22.3. I hope that doesn't break anymore, but overall it's still on the bearish side. Globe, okay, globe, something to closely monitor. Look at this, we're now having a double bottom for globe. So this area over here was at the oversold and we moved up for several days. We stayed here and it revisited the same area, but this time around, your RSI is already uh, within this normal limits. It's higher than the previous point while they maintained at the same price point. The RSI is much higher. See this? So I'm thinking this might move sideways for a few days, something like this. I don't know how long it'll take, but most of the time, looking at historical performance, it only stays at a certain level for 3 to 4 days and then recovers. So I think this is really an interesting level for me. Wait for a green candlestick with a right nice volume before you enter. But overall, globe is really good for long term, and we are at a discounted level. In fact, this has dropped. Oops, this dropped by 35% agad yan. 36% already. So it's really rare for you to have that opportunity to enter at a price point back, same price level as from back in 2021. So if you are just starting now in your stock market journey, don't feel bad if you are just starting, because actually you're at a your timing is good. Almost all the stocks are really dropping, okay, and you are not taking advantage of those prices or those stock prices that are really very cheap at the moment. So just prepare. It's not a bed of roses every day. There are days that you will experience losses, so be prepared for those days. Okay, in the meantime, continue to study, have go with your journey, join me in your journey, or allow me to join you in your journey, and drop a comment if there are requests or questions about technical analysis or about the stocks you're monitoring. Let me know, or if you know anything, drop it in the comment as well so we can all learn from you. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching, and bye bye for now.